Hello everyone. Today our assembly is thinking about a special day that we have this week, on the 11th of November. I wonder if you know what that special day is. Yes, it's Remembrance Day, and Remembrance Day is a special day for remembering. Now, remembering is not always easy, is it? I think all of us would admit there are some things that we always remember without any difficulty. However, there are other things that we forget. And they're normally the things that we most needed to remember. Now, I thought we'd start this morning with a bit of a game. And this isn't just for the children, it's for all ages. And it's to test out your memory. So in this bag, I've got 7 objects, which are all about remembering. So we're going to get 7 objects out, we'll decide what they are, and then have a look at them. Then I'm going to put them away again, and you've got to see if you can remember them all before I get them out of the bag again. Are you ready? Let's look for our first object. What have I got in this bag? Ooh. Yes, I have a clock. So that is my alarm clock. Let's see what else we have in here. Oh, something that beeps. That's interesting. Do you know what this is? If you've got one at home, it's probably in your kitchen. It might even be part of your oven. It's a kitchen timer. Put that there. So 2 objects so far. Hopefully you've got them in your mind. Let's see what else I have in this bag. Ah, yes. Shopping list for all the bare necessities. Now I use this to write down my shopping. So there's a shopping list. Very useful. Right, oh yes. My diary. You might not have one in paper form, you might use your device. I like to write things on paper. So my diary. We've got a couple more. Oh yes. I wonder if you know what one of these is. Everybody used to carry one around with them. It's a handkerchief, but this handkerchief has a knot in it. I wonder if you know why. I think we've got a couple more in here. Oh yes. Most of you are probably wearing one of these today, a poppy. And then finally, I have a cross. Right, so they're all on the table. Have a good look. Alarm clock, kitchen timer, shopping list, diary, handkerchief with a knot in it, a poppy, and a cross. Have you got them all in your mind? Excellent. Let's put them away again. Pop them in my bag. So hopefully you've now still got them all in your mind. Maybe you want to say them out loud to the person next to you, just to check that you've got all 7. Okay, are you ready? Let's get them out and see if you managed. We have the shopping list, the handkerchief with the knot in it, the alarm clock, the diary, cross, poppy, and finally the kitchen timer. Did you get all 7? Or do you need to have a bit more practice for next time? Well, we're now going to look at each of these objects in turn and think about what do they have to do with remembering. Because I think remembrance is more than just thinking. It's actually about doing something. It's an action as well. So let's take a look at these objects and see what I mean. So let's start with the alarm clock. You set yourself an alarm to get up in the morning, or at least many of us do. Now, if I was lying in bed and my alarm went off and I did absolutely nothing, there would be no point having set the alarm. I need to get up and out of bed, don't I? It was set to wake me up, and now I need to do something, get up. So there's our alarm clock. Now, what about my diary, or your diary that you might have at home? Now, I write things in my diary so that I don't forget to do them, so that I make sure I end up in the right place at the right time, doing the thing that I planned to do. Now, if I was to write in the diary and then not look at it, I would probably forget things. So it's helpful for me to have it written down so I remember and then I go and do those things. Let's look at the handkerchief. Now, in days gone by, everybody carried a handkerchief with them, and people tie knots in them as a way of remembering that there was something they needed to remember to do. So you would tie a knot, and then later on, when you got your handkerchief out to use, you would go, oh, there's a knot in my handkerchief. What was it that I needed to remember? And hopefully you could remember what it was and do it. Then we've got our shopping list. Now, I always write myself a shopping list, because if I go shopping without a shopping list, I am bound to forget to get some of the essential things that I needed. So I need to write it, and then I need to take it with me to the shops to make sure I remember everything. And then we've got our kitchen timer. Now, I think a kitchen timer is really important, because when I put my cake in the oven, I need to know when it's going to be done. Now, I have this bad habit of going off and doing other things and completely forgetting that I'm baking. Has anybody else ever done that? I bet you have. So you set your timer for 20, maybe 30 minutes with your cake in the oven, and then it goes beep, 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 beep when it's done, and you can run down the stairs and go, oh, I need to get it out the oven. Check to see whether it's ready. If the alarm went off, if the kitchen timer went beep, 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 and I didn't do anything, I just stayed doing what I was doing, what do you think is going to happen to my cake? It's going to burn, isn't it? So I think kitchen timers are very important. And then we've got our poppy. Now, most people wear these at this time of year, around Remembrance Day, to remember those who fought in wars, those who even are fighting in conflicts today. But does it end at thinking about the past? I don't think it does. I think we have an action to do as well. While we're remembering, we are hoping that it will not happen again, that we can live in a world of peace. So we have an action to do. We have an action to be peacemakers, to be people who bring peace, who remember what is past, to change the future. So there's our poppy. And then finally, I've got our cross. Now this reminds us of Jesus' life and Jesus' death. And when Jesus was alive, he taught people how to bring peace. He told people to be peacemakers. And he showed people love and kindness and brought hope to their lives. And through his death, he brought the ultimate hope that we can have. So our cross, to remind us to be peacemakers and to hold on to the hope that Jesus brings. So there are our 7 objects that are all about remembering. Remembering not just the past, not just what could be, what may be, but actually an action to do, to change things. So on this day of remembrance, as we remember those who fought in wars and who are fighting in conflicts around the world today, we hope and pray for a peaceful future. Maybe you want to think about how you could show love and care to other people, bringing hope and peace into the world. Let's just have a moment of silence to remember those that have lost their lives in war and conflict, and those who are still suffering as a consequence of it. They shall not grow old, as we that are left grow old. Age shall not weary them, nor the years condemn. At the going down of the sun and in the morning, we will remember them. I'm going to say a prayer, and if you'd like to join in with my prayer, then say Amen at the end. If not, then sit quietly and reflect on what we've talked about this morning. Dear God, at this time of remembering, we want to pray for those whose lives have been affected by war. We are grateful for those men and women who fought for our freedom, who fought that we may live in peace, that we might have a hope and a future. Help us to remember them and to act on that remembrance by being people who show love and care to one another, bringing hope and peace. Amen. It's been good to share with you today. I hope as you go into the day, you will remember what we've talked about. I'll see you soon. Bye for now.